It was a cold evening. Mark stepped into the small diner, rubbing his hands together. He had just finished work and was starving. The smell of fresh coffee and fried food filled the air. The line was long. People were ordering, chatting, waiting for their food. Mark tapped his foot impatiently. He just wanted a quick meal and to go home. In front of him, an old man stood at the counter. He wore a worn-out coat, his hand shaking slightly. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a handful of coins. Slowly, he began counting them, one by one. Mark sighed. "Come on, old man. Just pay and move." He didn't say it out loud, but he wanted to. His stomach growled, and he shifted from one foot to the other. The cashier waited patiently. The man counted again, his fingers trembling. The people behind Mark also began to mumble. A woman checked her watch. A man in a suit groaned. "I'm sorry," the old man said softly. "Just a little more time." Mark rolled his eyes. He stepped forward, ready to walk past him. But then he noticed something. The old man wasn't buying for himself. Outside, through the window, a small boy sat at a table. He looked about 6 years old, his clothes too thin for the weather. He was watching his grandfather, his big eyes filled with hope. Mark froze. The old man took a deep breath. "I think I have enough for one small sandwich." The cashier gave him a kind smile. "Would you like something to drink?" The man hesitated. He looked back at the boy outside. "Just water, please." Something tightened in Mark's chest. He looked at the few coins in the man's hands. Not enough. Before he could think, Mark pulled out his wallet. "I'll pay for his meal," he said. His voice was firm, but inside he felt something strange. A warmth, a realization. "And get him another sandwich and something warm for both of them to drink." The old man turned, surprised. "Oh, no, son. You don't have to." "I want to." Mark handed the cashier a bill. The cashier nodded. "Of course." The old man's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you. You don't know what this means." Mark swallowed hard. "It's nothing. Really." The food arrived, 2 hot sandwiches and 2 cups of soup. The old man took the tray and walked outside. Mark watched as he placed it in front of the boy. The boy's face lit up. He hugged his grandfather tight. Mark felt his throat tighten. He turned away, suddenly embarrassed. He had judged too quickly. He had been so focused on himself that he hadn't seen the full story. He paid for his own meal and sat in a corner. Through the window, he watched the old man and his grandson eat. They shared smiles, laughter. The boy dipped his bread into the soup, savoring every bite. Mark took a deep breath. Maybe life wasn't just about rushing. Maybe it was about noticing, about kindness, about understanding that everyone has a story. That night, Mark left the diner feeling different, warmer, lighter. As he stepped out into the cold, he glanced back one last time. The boy waved at him. Mark smiled and waved back. It was just a small act, just a meal. But maybe to them it was everything. Never judge someone before knowing their story.
If you enjoyed the story, please like and subscribe.